evening, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a little while, but we are back with the best podcast in history, webisode number 3 of that show. To be exact, I am one of your hosts, Josh Houselander. With me, as always, the beautiful Tiffany Ferresi, my co-host, and the also beautiful Adam Hernandez running the boards. How's it going, guys?
It's good. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Oh, Adam turned his mic away so he can't talk.
Oh, that's right. We hate when that happens.
I know. We'll get him talking. We will get him talking. But yeah. Oh, look how he even positioned it this week, where he actually has to turn the entire mechanism in order to put the microphone back in his face. He just turned it further away from us too. But
how about we just see how many times we can bait him during this?
Yeah. Oh, we will. We'll get him talking. We'll get this kid talking before the end of this show. No doubt. So okay, I won't address, any questions to Adam for now. But Tiffany, how have you been? What's up? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm awesome.
I'm just loving these beach days.
Yeah. Yeah, you're chilling on the beach these hot days.
Yeah, that's like Michigan lake living. That's what I call it.
That's cool. You seem pretty chill tonight. You're just...
Yeah, dude, I've been in the sun.
Right
I mean, we have tons of lakes here. Don't forget it.
It's true. The state of Michigan, a lot of people think Minnesota is the state that has the most lakes. Not true.
Mm-mm.
Just because Minnesota says land of 1,000 lakes on their license plate, Michigan actually has significantly more than them.
Mm-hmm. We have way more boats. Just to clarify that.
Yeah.
My sister lives in Florida, and she's like, nope, we have way more boats. You know nothing about them. I'm like, what? We live in Michigan. We party hard during the summer.
Right.
We wait all year for that.
Right. Yeah, we rule here in Michigan.
Yeah.
The water is our thing here. Did you know that if you were standing anywhere in the state of Michigan, you are never more than 6 miles from a lake?
I believe it.
Do you know that, Adam? He doesn't have a microphone, so he can't answer.
Oh, darn. We couldn't bait him not one time yet.
Yet, being the key word there. Hey, we should start with how we have been starting the show, with royal news.
Mm-hmm.
Some weird stuff happened, some good stuff happened, some cool stuff happened since we've been away from you all. Sorry for the delay, everybody, by the way. We all had to take a break here at the Empire Media for a little while, take some time off, but we are back, and we're awesome. So... What's up with royal news, Tiffany? What's been going on?
I feel like there's so much we want to be able to catch up on all of it, but
let's try.
Shall we? Yeah, I should say we can't, but we'll try.
Yeah, let's do what we can. This is our show. We run this.
Yeah, I mean, did you see Prince Louis's christening? Let's just dive right into that.
No, I did not.
Oh, I'm really sad for you.
Was it adorable?
It was.
Okay, I love christenings.
Do you?
I do. Yeah.
I mean, you've been to it all.
I have been to a whole bunch of them. I have been to many of them.
You got that shit down.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I had to host 4 of them myself. But yeah, for sure. Been to many more as well. Big Catholic family, big Polish Catholic family. That's where I come from. So definitely a ton of christenings. But this one was pretty legit, pretty cool.
Pretty legit. Cool. Although the Queen did not attend, which many people found weird.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Or Prince Philip. So they were just not there.
Any reason given? Were they sick?
I think it was just maybe busy schedulers or something like that. And people thought it was weird because she's the Queen and,
yeah,
this child is in the line of succession. But, nobody else seemed to be irritated by it.
That's kind of messed up, I think. I mean, I know Philip has officially retired from public appearances, right?
Yeah, but this is more of a family thing,
right?
It
is. It totally is.
So,
but I feel like with his announcement of retirement, I think he's acknowledging that he's not well enough to be at things all the time. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it could be written off as maybe he wasn't feeling good. He's old, whatever, But Queen Elizabeth, what's her excuse?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's some BS, actually. I mean, as a father of 19 kids, I'd be pretty bummed if my grandma wasn't at the christening.
Yeah, I'd be pretty irritated too.
Especially when she's able-bodied and still,
and can
run.
I'm sure she gets a motorcade too, or she can just go wherever, right?
Right.
I mean, maybe
not. They just
but
pick her up and take her places. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's lame that she wasn't there.
Yeah.
I'm calling her out.
Yeah.
Makes me want to walk too fast when I'm right next to her. Cut her off.
Kind of like a Trump move.
Yeah. Makes me just want to walk next to her and show her how fast I can go.
Well, what happens if she walks faster than you and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
You just blew my idea.
Well, yeah, then I'm gonna be like, walk this fast, and you couldn't get to your great grandkids christening.
Mic drop.
Yeah, that's weak. What's up? What's up, Queen? All right, what else? What else is going down with royal news?
Well, Prince Harry and his wife have been around. They did their first international trip to Ireland, so
okay,
it's pretty significant because you have the Irish are not very
they hate the English.
Yeah, it's not very pleasant all the time.
Yeah, they hate them with a loathing passion. They really do.
Yeah, it's pretty significant. So I don't know. I think she pulled it off, though. I think he pulled it off. I mean, Harry's pretty fun-loving. He can go wherever he wants. He's like, people love me.
Yeah, that's true. Just throw back a couple of Guinnesses.
Him and his red hair. He like blends in. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That is true. And yeah, in Ireland, there seems to be a mutual dislike though between the English and the Irish though. That's still there, right?
Yeah, I'm sure they're like, stop causing so much shit and just do what we want, you know?
Yeah.
And they're like, nope, this rebellion's never gonna end. Just letting you know that.
Right. And in Ireland, okay, only Northern Ireland is part of the United Kingdom, but Ireland itself is still part of Great Britain, correct?
I think so, yeah.
They're where, Canada and Australia and New Zealand are dominions. I remember seeing that Ireland is considered not a dominion, but an English protectorate. Mm-hmm. So definitely still part of the thing. It's actually technically still the same country.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they just don't like it.
Yeah.
They're like, we're just going to make some noise every once in a while.
My cousin told me that when she went to a pub in England and ordered a pint of Guinness, she was like, "Yeah, I'm American. That's like what you do, right? Order a pint of Guinness." And she said that the bartender said, "Let me get you some real English beer. We just make that crap for the Irish people." I was like, "Wow, all right, that's kind of like what I would expect to hear them say, right? Like, some gruff old English dude working at the pub." So I feel like that conflict's still around. Mm-hmm. Not like when we were kids, though. I mean, I know I'm way older than the two of you guys, but I mean, do you guys remember that as kids when they still had like the bombings and the IRA and everything, and Ireland blowing up parts of England?
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, that's pretty. I mean, that was one of those things that it seemed like it was never going to end. Like, oh, they'll be doing this forever, and then it kind of ended. So I maybe there's something there for when we think about the Islamic terrorism right now. Thinking like, oh, well, they'll just do this forever. Or maybe they won't.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, maybe they won't. Maybe they'll just kind of
go away.
Cheer up and get over it.
Just chill, have a pint of Guinness.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe a pint of Almaza. That is the only Arabic beer I know.
I don't know about beers. You're like way up on that.
I don't really know why I know that there's an Arabic beer called Almaza. I just knew an Arabic guy once, and I remember him drinking Almaza. Seemed all right. Seemed cool. Cool. What's up? Wait, what else? What else are the Queen and not King doing?
I don't know. She just had tea with Trump, so that was pretty significant, right?
Yeah, and I know they're making a big deal. He walked in front of her, and he made her wait, right? He showed up late. No,
he showed up at 4:59 and was supposed to be there at 5 p.m.
Oh, okay.
That's just what I read.
Okay, so not actually even
Yeah,
late.
she's like, and as he's walking up, she already had her hand out. She's like, probably thinking to herself, just pushing the clock here.
They said that, but then there's a whole bunch of pictures also where it looked like they were smiling and they were, getting along and being nice, so...
I mean, but isn't that what you're supposed to do? I mean, I'm sure the Queen's been doing it. How many, sitting presidents has she met? This is only Trump's first time, right, meeting her?
Since Truman?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I don't think she met, was it LBJ? There was one president she didn't meet, though.
Really?
I think, so...
It's because LBJ was too busy covering up Kennedy's assassination.
Maybe. Yeah, it was pretty crazy though. I mean, she's like a really good masquerader. I'm sure she's like, I've done this so many times. He ain't got shit on me, bro.
Did you see any good Trump Queen Elizabeth memes?
No, I wish somebody would make one.
Okay, because I saw one, and it was Trump. He's standing there, kind of, like he always is standing, like big stuff, and Queen Elizabeth is looking at Melania, but she's got kind of like a weird look on her face, like kind of like squinching her eyes a little bit, and the caption was just like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you with your clothes on."
That would be pretty funny.
It's like, oh, jeez. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty rough, dude.
Dank is the only way to meme. So.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's pretty rough for Melania.
Yeah, that's a bummer. She's hot though.
She is hot. I mean,
she is. I mean, she's definitely the hottest first lady ever.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know I'm like all about Dolly Madison.
Yeah, I mean, I like Jackie Kennedy, but it's a whole different ballpark. You know, they're on different realms right now.
Yeah. Sounds like Dolly Madison was pretty hot, real busty.
That matters. That's crucial.
Totes. Why not? I mean, sure, but yeah, I think Melania, like you said, she's on a whole different level.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we never had like an ex model.
Yeah.
Before. Hey, we got anything else on royal news, or we can kind of jump into? We talked Trump and the Queen. Want to talk Trump and the Premier?
Yeah, or like Trump, Putin, anything. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, so I know this is more modern history, but hey, this is history that's been being made in the last week here. So, so people are whining. Trump was not nice enough to the Queen. He was too nice to Premier Vladimir Putin. What do you got to say about it?
Yeah, I feel like more than just nice is more than a word. I don't feel like he was on point.
No.
It was more like just flattering and agreeing, and like, that's like lack of control to me. I feel like Putin is a very controlled individual.
And usually Trump kind of prides himself on that, right?
No, but he was just like...
Yeah, but yeah,
it's almost like a bromance for him. I feel like he gets really excited when he's around Putin. He just starts flattering him. I mean, what's happening, dude?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's something there. Maybe there's something to that.
Mm-hmm.
They're in a total bro relationship.
Yeah.
It was a bromantic meeting.
It was. That one-on-one was crucial for them. They've been waiting for that moment for a while.
Do you think Trump called him out behind closed doors and said, why are you messing with our elections?
Probably not. I mean, he's president now because of those elections. Do you really think he's going to call him out? I don't think so.
Yeah. Is that what happens? Though? Is that truly what is believed, that, Putin messed with the elections and Trump didn't actually win? I mean, is that comment being made, or is it more just like they're messing with the elections? Who knows what would have happened? Trump would have won anyway. I mean, do we know? I don't.
I mean, we'll never know.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, that's the thing about politics. Us little people don't know shit.
Right. Did you guys happen to hear? I'm still gonna address like Adam's like paying attention. We're gonna talk, but did you guys happen to hear what John McAfee had to say about it? I guess he's the guy that did the McAfee virus thing. Pretty much like the dude when it comes to hacking anything and preventing hacking and all this stuff. He also ran for president as a libertarian in 2016. Lost in the primary to Gary Johnson. Mm-hmm. But he basically said, listen, I've been doing this for 25 years, and hackers are amazing at covering their tracks. Any hacker that could do something on this level is at the amazing level of hacking. And if the signs point to Russia doing it, then you can almost bet it wasn't Russia. Because any hacker who can do this would be good enough to cover their tracks, and they would have to show that somebody else was doing it. Mm-hmm. So I have no idea if there's anything to that. McAfee he's a brilliant dude. He's kind of a weirdo, though. He's no fan of Trump, though, either. So I thought it was interesting comments coming from somebody that definitely knows what he's talking about.
That is pretty true, though. If you're that much of a baller, I mean, are you really going to be like, are all evidence going to point to you? Probably not,
Yeah, so he was just like, so all I know is that the CIA and the FBI are telling us Russia did it, I definitely am not thinking that they would know what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I thought that was interesting. Adam, we seriously need you on the mic for part of this because we're going to have to reference soccer here for a second. So Adam's on the mic. Now, we're not going to talk much about soccer by any means because we should get into some deep history here shortly. But I was kind of thinking when the World Cup was going down, last couple of weeks, that hey, it's kind of weird, Europe has kind of been doing this for years, kind of like battling for supremacy for years. Now they do it for soccer, but they used to do it for real. They used to actually have high stakes. I'm just thinking all these countries that are in the World Cup kind of battling out. And I know they're not all European, right? Who won in the final? What was the final?
In the final, it was Croatia and France.
Okay. And did England and France ever go head to head?
No, they're at opposite ends of the bracket.
Okay. So had they won,
if England beat Croatia and France obviously beat France Belgium, then yeah, they would have played in the final.
So they could have been in the final.
Yeah.
Okay. It's weird that I guess it's kind of cool that these countries now just play each other in soccer and they're all buds. But how many wars have France and England fought? And all these other different countries that are in there. Like England, for instance, they pretty much fought a war with every one of those countries at some point, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any country out there that England hasn't gone to war with? Handful,
Probably.
maybe?
Yeah, probably very little.
So, I guess that's a good thing, though, that in 120 years they've, moved to this new, now we play soccer together. That's something that you don't typically hear about is the good progress that's made for nations. We always love to focus on.
Well, a lot of those countries that play in the World Cup were subjects of, at one point,
right,
of France, England, Spain, Russia.
Yeah, they were conquered or made subjects or made peasants by one of these countries.
Yeah.
At some point. So I guess it's cool that now they also. Where was the World Cup? Was it in Russia? It was in Russia. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I guess that's a big thing too. It wasn't that long ago that so nobody could go to Russia, right?
Yeah.
Soviet Union. It was pretty much you didn't go there. If you were a capitalist pig.
They basically bribed their way to the World Cup, and yeah, it was fine. Glad they lost, but
how is that decided? Is it a vote? Did Russia fix that vote too? Did they fix that election?
They had some influence over it, definitely. But FIFA's FIFA. FIFA is one of the most corrupt, sports bodies in the world. FIFA is probably the most corrupt.
So Russia was a great fit.
Yeah, they fit, definitely. And then it's in Qatar, which is just absurd because you're going to be playing soccer in a desert. And
sounds terrible.
Then it's going to, I think after that, it's going to be the joint 3, United States, Mexico, and Canada.
Okay. Cool. And so if you're, it's 2018.
It's every 4 years.
So this year would be the 100-year anniversary of World War I coming to a close. And up until World War I, England was still declaring themselves to rule over France as well. That's right? Wasn't that, when they used to crown the kings and queens of England?
Yeah,
they still do, and they list
France,
everybody. They would say, I crown you Queen of England, France, Wales, Cornwall, the whole list, yeah. But it wasn't until World War I when they became buddies. We're fighting the Germans. God, the Germans suck. I guess we'll stop laying claim to their throne since we're friends now.
Yeah.
Do we have to? Yeah, I guess we should. I think is what the French the French monarchy's gone by that point.
Yeah, it was like a republic by then, I think.
Yeah, French Revolution a little bit after. Well, we get Napoleon, all that stuff too. But
And then they brought Russia aboard in World War II.
yeah,
Or the Soviet Union.
yeah. Oh, they were a big part of World War One too. I mean, the Russians were there in World War One.
Yeah, that's right.
Right there on France and England side too. That is something that we forget. You know, I mean, I guess it's kind of weird when you look at it from a historical point of view. You know, people are butthurt that Trump was rude to the Queen, and they're mad that he was nice to Putin. But I mean, who's actually been our ally? I know, like, oh, we've been so tumultuous with Russia over the last 75 years, but for this, Russia's kind of always been our ally, right? I mean, even when there was Stalin over there murdering 10 million peasants, he was our buddy in World War II. They were our friends in World War One. We've never really fought with them.
I think that's more the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Oh, it totally is.
I mean, we're overlooking the whole Cold War here,
yeah.
bro.
Well,
we
no,
just skipped that.
But there, the Cold War wasn't a war though; it was a Cold War.
Yeah,
and we've definitely fought wars with England. I mean, isn't there something very American about Americans disrespecting the Queen? I mean, isn't that what America is kind of about?
Yeah.
Did we fight the Revolutionary War and become this powerful nation so we could go kiss the Queen's ass?
Oh, look who's talking.
I knew once we put a microphone in his face, we'd never get him to shut up.
Who's talking?
See, I've tried to get you both of you going because I know that Tiffany's so in love with the royal family, and I know Adam is so not in love with the royal family, but he hates Trump.
I like Harry
more than he hates anything.
Oh, I like Harry.
So it's like I'm just trying to.
You're not listening to me. I said I like Harry.
I heard you, man. You like Harry. It's cool.
Who doesn't like Harry?
Yeah, he's a bro. He's straight broy.
Honestly, if I'm gonna go to a party, I want to go with Harry.
Yeah, I think if you met, I honestly think if you met Prince Harry, and at first you'd be all nice. Well, unless you're Donald Trump, but at first you'd be all nice and do all the your Highness stuff and the bows and everything. But if you spent 7 minutes with him, by the end of it you'd be calling him bruh.
I feel like I'd be calling that from the beginning, though.
Would you? I think I'd be nice and call him, Prince, Your Highness, all that stuff.
He's probably cut that shit out too.
Hey, bro, will you grab me that beer?
He's like, yeah, no problem, bro.
Yeah, sure.
And you're like, mm-hmm.
Oh, sure, dog. It's like, hey, you gonna finish that tea, that crumpet? What do they call? What do they eat? I don't know. I'm being dumb.
He's like, oh, this is a tea. This is gin, man.
Okay, I couldn't remember this. I couldn't remember if tea and crumpets was the right way to say it, or if that was the thing they say in Dumb and Dumber.
I think they say strumpets.
They say crumpets in Dumb and Dumber. Yeah. And I've made that dumb joke so many times that for a second there I couldn't remember which one was the actual one. So that's my bad. That's on me. But yeah, no, everybody likes Prince Harry. Man. You don't like Prince William?
Yeah.
I don't think he's as relatable.
Yeah.
I can understand because of what's happened to him in his life, but personally, Harry's just a rock star.
Do you guys think that at any point in Prince Harry, or you could answer this pretty much about any person in that position, any younger brother who's not going to be the king, do you think that, I'm sure he loves his brother, I think they're bros, I think they're cool, do you ever think that a thought has crossed his mind, but what if William just died in a car accident? Wouldn't it be kind of cool if he died young so I could be king? Now, do you think that has ever crossed his mind in all the years since he has been 5 years old to the present? I mean,
maybe not the car accident part, bro.
It's got to well, what if he just died young? Why can't I be king?
I don't know, man. I once read it, like Prince Harry said in an article one time, he's like, honestly, nobody in the royal family wants the job of being the next monarch. And it's probably true because they probably realize it's so fucking terrible.
I don't know. I feel like that's I feel like that's the thing to say.
Really?
You know, like that's the cool thing to say. Like you're being humble then, and it's like you're refusing the crown.
See, me, I would love to be in Harry's spot. I'd be like, fuck that. Who wants all that responsibility when I can have like the same status almost with no responsibility?
Oh, I want both.
Really?
I mean, it's like I'm the cute little Asian girl saying, why not both?
See, that's like me. Like, would you rather be president or would you rather be like a senator? You know, a senator, you kind of have your anonymity where you can go about life and still do shit. But president, like, I can't do fuck all, man. Everybody's watching me wipe my ass, like, doing
That's
everything.
true.
I'm like, this is terrible.
That's a good point. But I feel like once you're there and you can, like, taste it, you kind of, I mean, like...
Yeah, but what did Abraham Lincoln say? Like, you know, what you can judge a man's character, you know, based on, like, if we give you power.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. I think you're getting tested here.
Yeah, no, totally.
He's getting hungry.
No, totally. But I feel like every senator has to think that eventually, you know? Like, well, why not me? You know? I'm right
I'm good
here.
enough.
Yeah, like, it's like, hey, I don't want to be president. I want to be senator. But then you think about it for a while. You pour yourself another, what do senators drink? Manhattan or something.
Really? Manhattan?
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just guessing. I'm trying to guess what a senator would like the drink a senator would drink. I don't know. But, you know, you just kind of sit back in your, like, rich mahogany, you know, leather chair with all your leather-bound books and think, why not me? Election's only 3 years away. I'm the senator from Oklahoma. I have a great voting record. Why not me, damn it? And don't you think, you know, that Prince Harry's had that thought every once in a while? Like oh, just because he was born first. He's going to be king. Why not me? Why not me? But then William's had some kids, so Harry's, like, way down the list now.
Yeah, he's fucked now.
Yeah, there's no way. Nothing can even be said about it.
Ready to get into our listery?
I think I am ready to get into our listery. Are you ready to get into our listery?
I'm ready. I can't wait for
Adam,
this
you
part.
ready to get into our listery?
Mm-hmm.
He's like,
Okay, this week on Listery, we are doing the 3 most influential nations in history. Okay, Tiffany, you want to go first?
No, I want you to go first.
Okay. We do not know what we have selected. Oh, Tiffany's been trying to spy on my piece of paper.
I don't like
ever since we got
surprises.
here.
Good thing
Okay.
I'm blind.
Number 3. Now, listen, there was no, like, rules for this, really.
I didn't
yeah.
number mine either.
Okay, mine are not necessarily in any specific order. And this is subjective. This is just kind of Tiffany and I's opinions each, and it's just kind of open for discussion. If anyone at home wishes to send us their listery, I don't know, send it to us somewhere on the site. We don't have, like, a spot set up or anything, but hey.
Facebook or whatever.
Yeah, Facebook, something like that. Send us your listery. Tell us why we're wrong. Tell us why we're crazy. Tell us why we're brilliant. We want to know. But my first one I went with is, and it's broad, but I went with Rome.
You mean Italy?
No, I mean ancient Rome.
Is that all
I mean ancient Rome. No, I do not mean Italy. Although they like to lay claim to you know their
So are we
city
talking
of Rome.
like Holy Roman Empire, or like?
No, I'm talking Roman Empire. I'm talking Julius Caesar, Octavian.
Caesar was a republic.
But it's still Rome. So
he's not following the rules here, bro.
Well, no, it actually becomes an empire under Caesar. He just doesn't call himself.
Yeah, but it's not a country now, bro.
I didn't say that it'd be a country now.
Oh, I thought
We
it
didn't say
did.
that.
Darn it.
In history.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I'm talking Caesar to Nero era Rome, basically. You know, Augustus Caesar, if you want to use the first one that actually went, you know, by the emperor. But I would think you could actually go to include the first triumvirate with Poppy, Caesar, you know, and Crassus. I think that could easily be included in that. I mean, it makes the transition from republic to empire, but same country. I mean, I listen to the Democrats right now. We just made the transition from republic to empire under the evil, treasonous Donald Trump. You know, if you watch CNN. If you watch Fox News, we just made the transition back to, you know, I don't know, utopia or something. But so you don't like my pick of Rome?
No, I think it's good.
You know, to me, the influences that they brought us, the governmental system influences, philosophy, science, the way we run a city, basically, you know, comes from so much of this.
Religion too.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
I mean, even though it wasn't sanctioned, Christianity wasn't sanctioned under Roman rule.
Yeah.
If I don't know where Christianity would be today if it wasn't brought up during. I guess the struggle wasn't there.
Correct.
I mean, would Jesus of Christ have ever been crucified if it wasn't because of the Roman Empire?
Right, and we're not saying good, bad, and ugly here. We're saying most influential. So, no, you're absolutely right, Adam. I mean, and I was wrong to not include that. Yeah, but religion, the way it shaped modern Christianity, and the way it shaped modern Judaism too.
Mm-hmm.
I'll include it with that, and also brings an end to the, to the worshiping many gods. Not that there isn't still people that do that in this world. There are right now to this, but that was, polytheism was the thing.
It was Constantine that ended it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, he was the first Christian Roman Empire.
Right, yeah.
Emperor.
And he became Christian while emperor. He said he saw a vision of a cross.
Yep. I think he saw the PX. I think that's what he saw. And then he had all the Roman soldiers write the PX.
Did he?
On their shields.
Well, there's the story of him having a dream and the vision of the cross above the thing, and him telling his soldiers the next day, winning the war, winning the battle. What do you got, Tiffany?
Well, I did it a little differently. I did it by country that are current now. Okay. So one of them I'll say is China.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they date back for thousands of years, BC. They even have like ancient studies that say that they have like tools, that are 1.38 million years old, that they've done studies on, which is insane, right?
Yeah.
They even have like, I think it was called like millet and rice, and they do radiocarbon dated back all the way 8,000 years. So that in itself is just like long history.
Yeah. And that's like prehistory, getting into anthropology.
Yeah, that's like
that
Paleolithic, Neolithic, and stuff like that. Then they have all their dynasties that have been there like some 100 years, some thousands of years. I mean, it's so amazing. I mean, I think the Han Dynasty is the one I like the most, probably because they brought such cohesion. They brought apart like a golden age, and that's what I like about, China is they had so many different little states and, empires, and that they like the cohesion that they have together and brought everything together, different languages all into one, and then their influence on, like Buddhism and stuff like that. I mean, it's so crucial. Even like the way we look at medicine from an Eastern culture's perspective is like so much of it is Chinese, So
and to this day, largest country in the world population wise.
Yep, that too.
By
but
far.
that's part even their cohesion. Like they could be many different states, but instead they're one. So that's what's so amazing about them.
Oh, good pick. That is a great pick.
Wasn't China basically on the doorstep of the United States? Well, the New World. That's always what I heard. Is they always had their ships right there off the coast of present day California and the whole, west coast of the United States, just ready to land, but they didn't. They decided to turn around and go back. And I'm just thinking to myself, because China had
very different.
China had the capability to go and do that, and what if they kept going?
Yeah, they certainly knew that the land was there.
Yeah, what would it be like today if?
And I think something that people don't take into account also with China is from a political or a military or a modern history point of view. A lot of people, I think, especially in America, or in the United States, when they're analyzing World War II, which is big here, I think a lot of people kind of look at it and be like, oh, where was China? Like, China's not in World War II. Why is that? It's like no, it's actually because so many of the things that happened before World War II to China are what lead to World War II. You know, I mean, Japan going in and just brutally destroying so much of that country is a huge part of what led to Japanese militarism on the rise, them seeing a common link with Germany and Italy, and them being hungry for more imperialism, more militarism. And it's to this day why Japanese people, much like the English and the Irish, Japanese and the Chinese don't always like each other very much. And from, I bet you read it at some point in your history studies, but The Rape of Shanghai. I read that. Oh my god, terrible book. I hate it. I do. I hate the book. I could barely get through it. It's so terrible. Have you ever read this? Did you ever have to read that in college, Adam? I mean, it's absolutely terrible. It's just a brutal story, piecing of stories of the terrible things that the Japanese did to the Chinese.
Yeah, it was
at
horrible.
This time. I mean, an absolutely terrible book. And, I mean, it's a very well-written book. I'm not saying it's terrible, isn't it? It's very difficult to read. I don't handle stuff like that well, and I couldn't.
Yeah, to me it was very graphic. I don't know if you would use that, but I mean, it's very, like, it's eye-opening.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's terrible, terrible imagery. But, I mean, if you're into that, I feel like that's a book that, I mean, there's a reason why they make people read it who are majoring in history, because you should know that stuff. But, and hey, China being a communist country, too, is been a huge part of the 20th century, and
that's why they're on the list, man. Like, they contribute to so many facets of history, whether ancient, prehistoric, imperial, like early modern, everything.
And they've
like,
just
they're
always been there. Yeah, they've always been there.
They don't really, like, you don't think that they do much because there's so many of them, but they do.
Well, and it has been a backward country for a lot of it. I mean, early on, not so much.
Yeah. But
there were several centuries in there where they were kind of falling behind the curve.
Who said communism doesn't work?
Hey, do you know what some of the nice things, I read some stuff once about some of the good things that the communists did in China. They did a whole lot of bad things.
They did do a lot of good things, though.
They did. You know that terrible practice that the women used to bind their feet and make their feet so tiny like that? One of the first things the communists did when they came in was just like that's gross. Like, cut that out. That's messed up. Like, we're a bunch of hardcore communist revolutionaries, but like that's just mean. Cut that out. That's like you gotta stop doing that to your chicks. They don't need tiny feet. They got tiny feet already. We're Chinese. We're all 5'4". I'm allowed to make short jokes, by the way, because I'm short. It's a thing.
What are you, like,
it's
5'2"?
okay.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm 5'5".
Oh.
Exactly. 5'5".
Yeah, you're like
and then actually maybe a little more than 5'5".
Like a foot taller.
Are you being serious right now?
I am. I'm 5'5".
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks for you.
You didn't know I was 5 foot? You didn't know I was short?
I mean, I'm 5'7", so maybe I guess I...
Are you 5'7"? You are not 5'7".
Yeah.
Really?
5'9".
It's
yeah,
okay.
5'5".
It's
I'm
okay.
the height of the average woman.
You're in the 5 foot club. That's all that matters.
I thought maybe you were like a touch taller than me. I didn't think you were that much taller.
That's only 2 inches.
That is true.
Don't worry, you're only a foot. You're only a foot taller than my wife. So
taller than your wife. Your wife is pretty short.
Yeah, she is.
All right, am I up?
Yep, you up.
Okay, I know this one has to be on your list. So,
Okay.
But England.
Yeah, I put UK. That's all.
I wanted to be able to grab the whole history of England, so that's why I didn't put United Kingdom or even Great Britain.
All right, I'll roll with the England one, and we'll roll on this.
Yeah. So I mean, listen, what what's the one language that you're pretty much safe speaking in any country on planet Earth?
Yeah, universal language, your English.
Yeah, it's English. I know they've been telling us we need to learn Spanish in public schools for the last 40 years, but guess what? They're still wrong.
I feel like we should be learning Chinese, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe, but it's, for whatever reason, the other countries do a decent job of just teaching like a functional English.
Mm-hmm.
Or people just skating by on, functional English. It's a good language. It's a good language for a universal language, honestly. Like, it's not all just some nefarious thing like, oh, the Brits and the Americans are jerks and they make us all speak English. No, it's actually a pretty good language for universal. Because it's a very hard language to perfect, but it's a very easy language to learn functionally.
Yeah.
And when people say like, oh, English is a very difficult language, you've always heard people say that.
Really?
But yeah, they used to always say that it's the hardest language to learn.
See, I
it's
don't
only
feel
the
like it
hardest
is.
language to learn if you're learning how to perfectly use the Queen's English. But nobody knows how to do that. Most people in the United States don't know how to speak English properly, but we all know what they're saying.
Yeah, we don't speak the technical version here. We just speak the ghetto version.
And that's why we go about teaching foreign language here in the U.S. completely wrong, because you're in Spanish too when you're 15 years old and they're trying to teach you how to conjugate verbs. It's like, cut it out. These people don't know how to conjugate verbs in English.
I know.
Like, what are you trying to do? You think those people down in Puerto Vallarta or Cancun, when you go down on vacation from Mexico, you think they know how to conjugate verbs in English? Of course not. They just know how to talk. They just speak.
There's the subtleties, though. I guess it's more so if you're writing it instead of speaking it.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
there, you're even.
But who's gonna be writing this shit?
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
but-
be trying to talk to some dude on the street.
Yeah, I'm just asking the dude for a Corona on where the bathroom is. I mean, that's you go down to like Mexico, and these people are poor in a lot of cases. They may or may not have gone to 13 years of schooling like we do. They speak English just fine. They do great. They do a great job, and it's their second language. Maybe it's their third. Who knows? But they do a great job. Everybody there knows a little bit. They know a hell of a lot more Spanish than I know of Spanish or of any other language. That's for sure. But, okay, England, what else have they done? I mean, they gave us language. They gave us
the most well-known royal family in the world, the OGs.
Yep. OGs.
Just saying.
Yep. No, totally.
I mean, the Reformation. Come on, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had their own English Reformation, but it was just a smaller part of the Greater Reformation, the Protestant Reformation. So, I mean, that was huge. That divided Europe. I mean, that's what we did our paper on Charles V. I feel like it was in there. I mean, it was huge. It's why everybody was fighting. Millions of people died, I feel like. I mean, Bloody Mary executed a ton of people. I mean, it happens.
Got their ass kicked in the Revolutionary War.
Yep, they did.
That too.
They did. And hey, do you know what's interesting is, what I find interesting is that England seems to be this stanchion for not having liberty. They seem like this. They embrace it. They have their royal family. They are subjects, not citizens. They have fought against several different countries, most namely the United States of America, to try to keep them from gaining their liberty. But where do these ideas of liberty and federalism and freedom originally come from? They actually come from English political philosophy. It's English people that came up with the idea for freedom of speech. Freedom to, even the Second Amendment, freedom of religion, freedom of the press. These ideas were rooted in England. These are their philosophers, their politicians, who fought the Revolutionary War. Those dudes were from England. They were English. They were colonists. Those were Englishmen. until that day when they declared that they were not Englishmen anymore. Then they became Americans.
I love the 4th of July memes were going around. The Happy 4th, you ungrateful colonials.
Yeah, that is cool. I did see some good ones too.
Yeah, I have a really good one though, and I send to my British friend every year. Same one.
Really?
Always pops up. I was like, never gonna be old.
What is it? Or don't you want to say it on the radio?
I don't remember what it is, but I mean, it's just like something about like the colonies are really disruptive or something like that tonight or something. Like
I know which one you're talking about. I've seen that one.
And she's
before.
like in a little pink hat and like something.
Awesome.
But yeah, they also gave us the Industrial Revolution too.
Yes.
I mean, they were like the most industrialized country at the planet at that time.
Yeah.
Like that's huge.
That's probably the most important thing out of all of this is just how industrialized England was and what that did for the rest of the world. I mean, really, where would the world be right now if it wasn't for the Industrial Revolution?
No, for sure.
And their trading with India, that was super crucial during that time.
And their colonization of other places, not just here in the United States. Their colonization at one point, even in our lifetimes, it was still being said that the sun never set on the British Empire. It was just when was that? A few years back when they finally gave up Hong Kong. That for the first time in many, many decades, the sun did finally set on the British Empire.
Yeah.
I mean, worldwide.
It is weird though the way that England has been on both sides decisively of good and bad. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just because of just some of the stuff, let's say they did in India, and then obviously the stuff they did during World War II.
No, you're right. You can point out, much like the United States in a lot of ways too. I think, but I think more so with the Brits, more so with England. You can point out many atrocities they've done, a lot of things that were really the wrong decision to make, but they've also done a whole lot of good. They've saved a whole lot of people from devastation. And I almost think that's a great point, Adam. I almost think that this is something to be said for the idea of a world power. That when you're the world power, it's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, and they're really good at reinventing themselves too. Even when they fuck up, they can still reinvent themselves to where people like them again, and that's hard.
Yeah, no,
they're like the Michael Jackson of world nations.
Are they? Why is that?
Because
I'm not following. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Because you know that Michael Jackson molested Macaulay Culkin, but he did Thriller.
Okay.
We're following you now. I think.
Yeah, okay. So England was awesome. They were the best. They were the top of the charts. And unless you're India, then they kind of suck. Unless you're South Africa.
So Macaulay Culkin is India.
Yeah, and his brother is South Africa. What was his brother's name?
Kieran.
Kieran Culkin or something. Oh, okay. But also, like all those kids that Michael Jackson molested, when they started to complain about it, he threw them a bunch of money. Kind of like England does. like, yeah, you're right, we screwed up. How can we make this up to you? Can, I don't know, NATO troops, cash, let us know. We'll see if we can work something out. Okay. So we each have one left.
Yes.
We each have
because we
one.
both had that.
Okay, so you want to go or do you want me to
I'll go. It's okay. All right, my last one is France.
Oh.
Oh, we don't like that?
I hate her. Okay.
Oh gosh, I love France.
No, they're cool. They do have very rich history.
They do. I mean, theirs doesn't go as far back as China per se, but I mean, it's pretty far back. I mean, in like what 1066, the Duke of Normandy like conquered England, you know. So I mean, you know, they go back as far as
William the Conqueror brings in the Plantagenets.
Mm-hmm.
This was my specialty.
No,
see, my favorite English kings are French.
Yeah.
Josh?
Yes.
Would the United States be the United States today if it wasn't for France?
Absolutely not. No, they're France is obviously that is a good pick.
I know it is. I mean, for me, it's just the most beautiful place in the world. I can't say for anybody else, but I mean, you go there. I mean, just the history when you're just walking around is insane. Yeah. You know, they influence, you know, architecture. They influence art, literature, philosophy, everything in the Renaissance. I mean, they made it like they just amplified everything so it can be its best all the time. I mean, you have Louis, the Sun King. I mean, he made Versailles. Versailles was one of the biggest, like, you know, palaces in the world at that time. Yeah. You know, it's like a lasting thing. I mean, then you have the French Revolution, even though it's not good.
Right.
You know, I mean, that was a huge part
Napoleon
of history.
Is a huge, I mean, what he did is, I mean, definitely world changing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even like something as little as the 7 Years' War, maybe had they won the 7 Years' War, we might be speaking French as universal language. I know just little changes. So, I mean, they're always against England, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just always like that struggle, but they just somehow were second best, you know?
God, that is true. That's why I wish they played in the World Cup final.
Yeah, it would have been cool. It would have been cool.
Because France would have won, too. France would have beat England.
France probably actually has won more wars against England than it. When you pit them against each other, when you like see who won more, because they fought so many times. I mean, and within the 100 Years' War, too, you know. But France really kind of, I think, has won more than England.
Do you think that Putin was still like, oh, well, Croatia's playing, so that's basically Russia in the final?
I don't know.
Sorry, I was popped in my head.
Maybe. I don't know. The French and the Russians are just always so up each other's butt about everything, it seems like. And they have their little, like, Olympic backroom deals and stuff that I bet he was rooting for France.
You think so?
Yeah.
Could have been.
I do.
If Marine Le Pen would have won, he definitely would have been rooting for France.
I don't know what that means, but yeah.
Oh, that's who was running as Macron in the French election.
Okay. Oh, you went back to politics.
Yes.
Oh, all right. I thought you were still talking about soccer people.
No.
Okay. All right. Let's shift gears. Now I follow you. But no, that's France is. Do you know what one of the issues I have with France, and this has nothing to do with history. This is politics, but I don't like how France is put center stage on a lot of things. How they're a permanent member on the Security Council for the UN, and they're, some of these things, when I do feel like the only reason we give France so much power is because they have such a rich and beautiful history, which I can appreciate rich and beautiful history, but I don't think that's enough to...
I mean, but they were so important during World War I, World War II. I mean...
They are. Oh, for sure.
They've been involved in so many wars, you know?
Yeah, I mean, without them surrendering...
they helped in the Revolutionary War. I mean, it's like, this isn't their first rodeo.
Yeah, no, they're
just as involved as, England and the UK, except just they happen to maybe lose one little war, and it's just not good enough now.
Yeah, their war prowess in World War II is, yikes.
I mean, I don't think they're the greatest soldiers, perhaps,
Yeah, I mean, France, they like to declare war when the Germans are sipping tea in Paris.
Hey, La Resistance was
La Resistance was harsh.
Yeah.
La Resistance was. Those guys were super harsh. But the Vichy French
were
the Vichy French were straight up on the Nazi side. They were straight up
puppet
Nazis.
state.
Yeah, they were straight up Nazis and fought for the Germans, so they suck. They straight up suck. But yeah, La Resistance were cool. And the Free French, they were kind of lame too. Honestly. I mean, just like, what was it, like 5 dudes just pretending like they had a vote?
Yeah.
Like, all the Brits and the Americans are out there dying, and there's like 6 guys back at the base like, I think we should do this.
Like, okay, that's fine. We'll go on to Normandy now.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, France, for Normandy. Yeah, I know we owed them though. American Revolution.
It's even.
Yeah, I actually would tend to think, as a biased American, I would tend to think that us helping them out in World War One made us even for the Revolution, and we're up one. You owe us one, kid. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, they essentially gave us a whole country, right? If it wasn't for them, we might not have America.
That's true.
Might just keep having some British colonies.
That's true. If we would have lost that war, we might be speaking English right now. Okay, my first one, my other one, I forgot, they're in no particular order, but Tiffany's going to give the same groan that I gave about France. But it's the United States of America.
Oh gosh.
I think the United States is what they've. Okay. One word. Why is the United States one of the most influential nations in the world, or of all time? McDonald's. I mean, really.
Radio silence. Wait, I can't even respond to that.
I mean, what
are you talking capitalism?
Yeah. I mean, look at the American companies, and everywhere you go in the world, you're going to see a little bit of America. People may act like they resent it. They may act like they don't like it. But, I mean, the United States foreign policy has dominated the 20th century and beyond completely. What they did in the 1800s to generate business, industry, railroads is enormous. The United States has brought you. Of course, these things exist in other places too, and I'm not saying that they never would have come out. But you could make that argument for the Industrial Revolution in England too. You can say, like they wouldn't have figured out, how to use steel in China eventually. Well, maybe they would have. I don't know. But from the United States, you get the assembly line in cars. I know Germany invented the car. But you get the assembly line mass production of cars. You get airplanes. You get railroads. You get the most powerful military the world has ever seen.
You could really say that. I mean, you said the sun doesn't set at one point. The sun doesn't set on the British Empire. The sun doesn't set on the British or the American business empire.
It doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, you can't. There's very few countries in the world you can go without finding McDonald's. And if they don't have McDonald's, they probably have a Subway. And every one of those places are from the United States, whether it's Wendy's or Burger King or Home Depot or Walmart.
Maybe not a Home Depot, but the Walmart perhaps.
Target. Meijer. I don't know.
I think I see where you're going with this, Josh. I think another way to look at it too is what America's done for globalization. I mean,
perhaps. We've also, like you said with England, there's some things you can point out that were bad. We've also helped a lot of people out. We've done a lot of good. We've done some bad. We've, think about music. Think about movies. What movies they watching right now in Brazil? There might be a couple of Brazilian movies, but I bet the number one movie there it's probably The Avengers or something. I mean, seriously.
I think England might be on par with music.
Yeah.
In terms of the United States.
Yes, with quality of music, I think, but with pure, just quantity and having it just inundated and shoved down people's throats, I think the U.S. probably still has more. But you're right. Brits have their own music. And they have stuff that's big there, but what do they do when somebody makes it huge in the English
They go to the
music
United
scene.
States.
They come to the United
I know
States.
what you're saying.
You know, the Beatles or whomever it is. They eventually
Rolling Stones.
Yeah, Stones. They come here. They come here.
Ace of Base.
Ace of Base. Yeah, Ace of Base.
Yeah,
When Sepultura came up from Brazil, they just couldn't wait to, rock the U.S. stages.
Mm-hmm.
Is Ace of Base from England?
No,
They're from. Aren't they from Sweden?
I think so.
Sweden, maybe.
I know ABBA's from Sweden.
Are they? Maybe that's. Yeah, they're from the same place. Ace of Base and ABBA. I remember that. Yeah, I remember hearing that.
So
It's all coming back to me. Ace of Base. See, that's where the best podcast in history takes you. It takes you to Ace of Base talk.
That's old school.
Yeah, it is old school. Sorry, I forgot Tiffany's like way younger than. She's like way younger than me, way taller than me, and all this other stuff.
I try, man.
Okay, well, so what do you think? USA? No, you're not sold?
No, it's not even number 4 or 5 on my list.
No?
But I'll give it to you. I think they have a rich history, like, that's pretty compact. But, I mean, compared to other countries, it's pretty abysmal.
Oh, yeah, they're a young country. Very young.
I mean, what they've done in that short time is pretty amazing, but,
I think that goes to say with both China and the United States, what they've been able to do in such a short period of time.
Yeah, although China does go back for so long.
Yeah, I mean, before BC, man. We're
Yeah,
talking...
I guess I'm talking about, like, China
now.
in the 20th and 21st century, what they've been able to do.
Like
People's Republic of China,
yeah,
if you will.
Like modern China.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
So, let me ask this question.
Okay.
If you had a 4 or 5, what would they be?
Okay, I did consider, and I didn't mention this before, I did consider adding Greece, but I kind of, but I'm talking ancient Greece here.
Yeah, we debunked that, though, remember?
Yeah, but, more so that led to Rome.
Mm-hmm.
So, kicked that. I probably would have gone perhaps Russia next. Maybe France though.
Could you say Sparta though? I mean, just because of what they did in the Persian War.
Yeah, I mean, and I kind of want to say
because that's another one though. If Sparta wasn't there during the Persian War, we're talking about we'd be speaking Chinese or
true
French. I mean, we might be what was it, Persian?
Mm-hmm. Oh, do you know what? Another one really is Germany too.
That's what my number 4. That was my number 4.
Germany really should be up there with, well, I mean, with their militarism, for one thing, has caused a lot of things. Some not even so bad, their industry, for sure.
Yeah, I like Germany and Russia were my 4 and 5. But when we talked about Egypt earlier, I was like, maybe,
Egypt.
but that was so like one and done. It was.
I
just
forgot, were we
like,
off air still when we were talking Egypt? Yeah, that Egypt is definitely something.
I mean, it was a foundation, but it doesn't continuously have like this effect, throughout history.
Now, something you could kind of throw in there too that, well, I guess this isn't a country, but I mean, if you want to go like the Israel Jerusalem route, I think it's I guess that doesn't.
That's Roman Empire.
Yeah, I guess it is. I guess if the question was most influential city, then perhaps Jerusalem could be number 1. Or
what about Byzantine Empire?
That's more of an empire, though. I mean,
I think it could be there. I don't think it should be right up there with Rome, though. With the Rome before. What's strange about the Byzantine Empire is that no one living in the Byzantine Empire would have said we're Byzantines.
They said we're Roman.
Yeah, they would have still been considering themselves part of Rome. We look at it as a fallen kind of on its way down portion of Rome.
But it wasn't the Rome that was affected so much by the Dark Ages.
Right. But still not quite what Rome was in a lot of ways. And with that, Tiffany and I used to love talking Holy Roman Empire.
That's what I was just gonna say, but like that, you almost have to include Spain then, because like Holy Roman Empire was separate,
Sure.
But Spain had so much influence, so it's like, why aren't they on the list? But then they fizzled out, like they had so much power, but somehow it just didn't happen for them.
Spain not establish many countries.
Mm-hmm.
And Spain actually helped create a new, I don't know how to phrase it. They actually helped establish a new, would it be race of people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
ethnicity,
yeah.
anyway. Yeah, that is true. That is, no, that is true.
I mean,
And Spain had their shot.
Mexico wouldn't be Mexico if it wasn't for Spain.
Right.
The Mexican people wouldn't be here. They would just be the indigenous groups of that area, whether it was Aztec or Mayan or whatever.
Yeah, you are right, Adam.
I mean,
That is an excellent point. And and Spain definitely had their their spot or their time in the spotlight as the world power.
Yeah, Charles V was probably the highlight, to be honest.
No, I mean, and France was there, and England, and
because they were like the three powers during that time: France, England, Spain. So somehow Spain, even though they had so much opportunity, for greatness, they didn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Elizabeth I kind of squashed that. Just saying.
Good points, everybody. Even you, Adam. Good job. See what happens when we make you put a microphone in your face? You're just a smart dude. But anything else you want to add, Tiffany?
No,
Before
I
we
think
kind
that
of
was
close
it.
out the show?
No, that was a good one.
It was absolutely. And we'll be back probably in about a month or so with the next one. We will make announcements on social media or here on theempiremedia.com or wherever it is. Just call our cell phones if you want. We'll let you know on the next show. But thanks everybody. Thanks to Adam. Thanks to Tiffany. And we'll be back with new topics in, like I said, in 3 or 4 weeks. And thanks everybody for tuning in to the best podcast in history.